Welcome to our
Physics experiment number 1 video,
basic measurement.
The theory is the vernier caliper allow you to measure external thickness, internal diameters and depth of hole to a maximum of 130 mm with a 0.05 mm approximation. The vernier calipers found in the laboratory incorporates a main scale and a sliding vernier scale which allow readings to the nearest 0.02 mm. This instrument may be used to measure outer dimension of object, inside dimension and depths. Besides, the micrometer screw gauge is used to measure even smaller dimension than the vernier calipers. The micrometer screw gauge also uses an auxiliary scale which is marked on a rotary thimble. Basically, it is a screw with an accurately constant pitch. The micrometers in our laboratory have a pitch of 0.50 mm. The rotating thimble is subdivided into 50 equal divisions. The thimble passes through a frame that carries a millimeter scale graduated to 0.5 mm. The jaws can be adjusted by rotating the thimble using the small ratchet knob. This includes a friction clutch which prevents too much tension being applied. The thimble must be rotated through the 2 revolutions to open the jaws by 1 mm.
Objective. First, to determine the volume and density of ball bearing. Second, to determine the volume and density of glass block. Apparatus: vernier caliper, micrometer screw gauge, weighting scale, ball bearing and glass block.
Step 1. The zero error of the micrometer screw gauge is determined.
Step 2. Measure the diameter of the ball bearing. Important note: turn the ratchet knob until a click sound is heard. Do not overturn the ratchet knob as this will cause damage to the micrometer.
Step 3. Step 2 is repeated for the second time at different position of ball bearing. Step 4. Data is recorded in a suitable table. Now, we calculate the actual diameter reading, taking into consideration the zero error that we obtained earlier.
Step 6. Determine the weight of the ball bearing.
Now, we are going to calculate the density of ball bearing. To measure the diameter of the ball bearing using a micrometer gauge and to determine the volume, we use formula V equal to 4 divided 3 multiplied by pi and multiplied by r power of 3. After that, we use a formula density equal to mass per volume to find the density of the ball bearing.
Step 1. Determine the zero error of the vernier caliper.
Next, the length, width and thickness is measured by using the vernier caliper.
The step is repeated at least 3 times at different positions of the glass block.
Next, we calculate the actual measurement by taking into consideration the zero error that we obtained earlier.
Step 8. The weight of glass block is determined.
Last step, the density of the glass block is being calculated using the density formula, mass over volume. The mass is 322.2 gram over the volume 152.76. Thus, the density is 2.11 gram per cm cube.
Discussion. When the jaws of the caliper close around an object, the main scale gives the whole number of millimeters. The vernier scale provides the fractional part of the measurement with high precision. The vernier scale has smaller deviation that slightly different from the main scale. These deviations are used to determine the exact measurement. Then, place the object between the jaws and close them gently to hold the object securely. Vernier caliper is capable of measuring to within 0.02 mm or even finer in some cases, depending on the instrument's quality. It can measure the length, width, and the depth of the glass block. Place the measuring device between the spindle and the anvil after opening the micrometer. Once the object is securely held between the anvil and spindle, turn the thimble gradually close the micrometer. Next, examine the sleeve's primary scale value and the thimble scale's supplementary scale value. The total measurement is the sum of the values on the thimble scale and the main scale.
Conclusion: the purpose of this experiment was to determine the volume and density of the ball bearing as well as the glass block using a micrometer, screw gauge and vernier caliper. Both instruments have zero error. A micrometer screw gauge is used to measure the diameter of the ball bearing, while a vernier caliper is used to measure the length, weight and height of the glass block. The measuring process of both the ball bearing and glass block is repeated 3 times to get an accurate reading.